Patch update notes. Any of these important? Arena, level 9. This one is actually a little weird. Made it a lot harder to get level 10. And other movements have been approved to allow you to end the tween moving at max speed in any direction you want. Okay. Nice. Okay, so this is big for Mordred. Default to the X. Okay. Art updates. Soul and Ymir card arts reworked to show off more of the artwork. Jingwei card art has been adjusted due to player feedback. Hades staff has been reworked to a two-pronged bident. Updated CC bar icon art to a new consistent set of symbols that match those used in ability tooltips. Nice. UI update. Fixed an issue, a variety of issues where settings would reset. This is the best patch notes I've ever seen. Trying to cover the ones that are a little bit more important. Big change. Role preference system. So now when you're queuing ranked, you'll be able to choose the roles that you want from 1 to 5th. You will very rarely be given your 5th role, sometimes given your 4th, usually given your 3rd, 2nd, and most of the time giving your 1st. Perfect. I'm curious to know how queue times will be affected. If there's a role that's just overwhelmingly chosen as the first primary role, but we'll see. All right, the first patch of the ranked test season was successful at gathering the data we needed in order to implement ranked in the way we want in the long term. But we need to make some adjustments to the current format in order to maintain a healthy ranked mode during the alpha. Players will be able to queue for ranked conquest in a party of 1, 2, or 5. So trios are removed. Solo and duo queues. Okay, so basically, Smite's queuable ranked conquest thing will be back like Smite 1, except if you are queuing in a 5-man, you will still be able to queue ranked conquest, but you will only be placed against other 5-men, not 3-mans, not 2-mans. It'll just be 5-men versus 5-men. So be prepared. There might be some long queues for 5v5s, or the SR range might be a lot like higher. So you might be playing against teams that are a lot worse, a lot better than you. Keep an eye on that. But I do think this is a really good change, especially for duo queue. Duo queue was probably the most queued game amount for ranked conquest, and it never got pops because the least queued was trio, and that was like the two that were paired together. So awesome. Long term, we know what is needed to create a solo and party queue experience that follows our vision for Smite 2 ranked. However, for that to succeed, we have identified a queue system we need to first develop to support that. During this part of the alpha, the healthiest thing for ranked is to combine the two most common forms of queuing, solo and duo, into one main queue for matchmaking and parity reasons. I love that. That's awesome. Reducing the god. Okay, that's nice. Elite ranked conquest. So we were told about this. This is something I'm pretty excited for. We have accelerated one system on our timeline in order to ensure there's a healthy competition for top-end players as we look towards building out Smite 2's competitive and esports scene. As well as we made a clear goal for non-established players to reach in order to start competing on a higher level. Elite ranked conquest is a separate rank queue which is unlocked after a player reaches Diamond 3. The current threshold is likely lower than future versions, but established at this point so that Elite has a healthy player count during the alpha. Elite ranked conquest is solo queue only, and once a player unlocks elite ranked conquest, they will earn and lose 50% less SR in any other ranked queue. Oh, earn and lose 50% less? Once a player hits master rank, they will earn and lose 90% less. Okay. So, Hire's just saying, if you are high SR, we want you queuing this elite ranked conquest game mode. That's interesting, but I'm curious to know how it goes. I'm not going to read too much into this. Yeah, I'm not going to read too much into this. This is above my pay grade. Above my pay grade. If a player is affected by a party SR reduction, whatever. Players above Obsidian 2 will be reset back to 4,000 SR. In-game leaderboards displaying detailed information for the top 1,000 players worldwide. Nice. That's big. Big. Environment art, something we can't really see, so yeah. New camp. Pyromancer. At 10 minutes in the match, the Pyromancer will spawn and replace the middle buff camp on the FG side. Okay. Defeating the Pyromancer drops the Runic Bomb. Shh. So there is now Nagas, there is Alpha Gold Fury, there is Fire Giant, and there is Pyromancer, and all of them allow pushing structures down. There is a whole lot of objective play on the map. It's placed in one of the player's empty consumable slots. Player can carry one Runic Bomb at a time. I'm curious they didn't try to mess with something with the spacebar, the interact key. You can pick it up with the interact key, but then you place it with a consumable. I don't know. Same thing. Reducing their attack speed by 35%. Deals 1,000 true damage. Deals 300 physical damage. It has 500 health. Yada, yada. Tower adjustments. Good. Exciting. Tower's getting a lot tankier and doing a lot more damage. This is something that a lot of people have complaints about. Towers just feel like giant, big babies that don't hit hard, and they're easy to hit. Or they're easy to kill. They're also adjusting the bounty. So they're making it so it's just a lot less gold on the tower. I kind of wish they got rid of the tier 2 gold bounty. But Phoenix is also getting massive buffs. Fire Giant getting massive buffs. Naga Queen getting massive buffs. Minions are... Oh, so they're taking... Wow. They're taking a lot of gold out of the game. They are taking a lot of gold out of the game. So towers are less gold. Lanes are less gold. Jungle is less gold. And it's not like just a little bit. It is cut in half. Like everywhere. That is crazy. So the game is going to be moving a little bit slower, at least on the item side of things. Maybe your XP will be staying about the same, but do not expect to hit full build at 23, 24 minutes. Reduce setup time from 60 to 45 seconds. Nice. Tutorial gets a little change. Gods. All right, Amaterasu, Divine Presence now applies additional duration-based buffs on activation to Amaterasu and nearby gods. Provides attack speed when changing to red stance and provides a health shield when changing to gold stance. Dazzling offensive third attack is now a full circle sweep attack, hitting the area all around Amaterasu. Hybrid scaling. Her AO1 is int and strength. Her AO1 shield scales up with max HP. Her AO2 mitigations scale with int. And her AO2 and AO4 scale up with int. So she is an int and strength scaling god. Her passive. Basic attacking an enemy 3 times to illuminate their weaknesses, causing them and other nearby enemies to take more damage from all sources. So it's again, just increased damage. The first ability heals yourself. The gold buff provides a health shield for 6 seconds and persistent movement speed buff. Red buff provides attack speed buff for 6 seconds and persistent strength and intelligence. Okay. Heavenly Reflection. Charge your mirror for 5 seconds and decrease all damage you take while charging. And this scales off int. I actually think there's going to be a pretty cool int Ama build with how much of her kit scales with int. Her strength is basically from her auto attacks, and that's it. But she is a pretty auto attack reliant character. So it's going to be probably build somewhat like Mordred, where she's going to have to build a lot of strength and a lot of intelligence. But her the damage does scale with strength and intelligence also. So this is one of the few ones that has strength scaling. Deal and take damage to charge the mirror. Base damage is doubled when okay, same as SMITE 2 or SMITE 1. Silence enemies in front of you for 1 second, then dash forward and deal physical damage. I'm actually curious. Did they add Ama into the game to try to fix the dash bug as quick as they could? Because that is one of the bigger Ama issues from SMITE 1. It was really annoying trying to dash, and you dash through people all the time. 3, really no change, just scale off strength, but Dazzling Offensive or Ultimate becomes CC immune and then attack 3 times to deal strength. Physical damage to enemies in front of you each time. Attacks deal more damage and have bonus effects on each subsequent successful hit. Second hit deals more damage and slows, and the third hit deals more damage and stuns. Okay, I thought it was a knockup. I thought that's why they were reading it at, or that's how they were stating it as, but nope. Next up, Nu Wa. New feature, Strength of Wood now roots enemies hit every 15 seconds. Cooldown reduced by 1 second each time Nu Wa hits an enemy with a basic attack. Nu Wa and her allies now gain Strength of Water when entering her mysterious fog, retaining a movement speed bonus for 5 seconds after leaning. Really? So adding utility to Nu Wa, maybe taking away some of her strength and her damage and giving her more utility. When Nu Wa fires clay soldiers, they're bringing back release Nu Wa partially. Strength of Water, Strength of Earth, Strength of Fire, Strength of Metal. That's interesting. She gets flat magical penetration. Wow. So it's no longer the clay soldiers have to do damage. She just gets flat magical pen when she uses her 2. Nu Wa soldiers go back to stunning, towers, and phoenixes. And after using shining metal, Nu Wa gains strength of metal, which causes her basic attacks to hit on... Wait! High-res! High-res! You are cooking! You are cooking! After using fire shards, Nu Wa gains strength of fire, which causes her basic attacks to go farther and faster. Wait! Isn't this just first iteration Nu Wa? This is like a mix of first iteration Nu Wa and... It's like old Wa and Nu Wa together. Nu Wa can stack any amount of basic attack modifiers. For example, if she has metal strength, or metal, fire, and wood, her basic attack will go farther, faster, and root all... Bro, aggro! Oh my fuck! You guys cooked! You guys fucking cooked! I love this! So her passive is a little bit different, though. Her passive is not every 5 auto attacks. It is a cooldown that she gets... that she can reduce by hitting auto attack. So maybe some semblance of attack speed in her build. I doubt it, though. Maybe it's just... Maybe your support wants to build like a Shogun's or something with that. Mysterious Fog. Most of her abilities seem to say the same. I can't see anything that's really any different. Clay soldiers don't have the shred anymore. It's just her instead. She still gets movement speed with Fog. So it's all slightly the same, but it's also just a big change to how you're going to play the character. Because she becomes pretty auto attack focused with a lot of her kit. Because all of these strengths modify her auto attack. So I am curious how this is going to work with her. Or maybe if you build some strength, since your basic attack is going to scale with strength a lot harder than intelligence. All right, God balance. Mordred, nerf. I thought Mordred was pretty weak, actually. He is very strong early game, but he was pretty weak late game. The issue, though, is Mordred had a lot of bugs, so it was hard to tell how balanced he was. But I still do think he was slightly on the edge of weaker than stronger. But this is just mostly on his ultimate. You're just going to have less big ultimates, so... Ares. Nerf to his 2. Maybe he was getting a few too many stats, and he was also able to keep up the 2 a lot. And it's also not like he's decreasing it to himself. It's only to his allies. So it's a fine nerf. Jingwei. Killer. Killer. Attack speed. Explosive bolts get 3 seconds, which is a lot. I like this. I thought the agility felt pretty slow and weird. I think that's cool. And it did... wait, what? She had a bolt? When she used her dash? Jingwei's not really eating too many nerfs. I think the strongest part about Jingwei is how easy it is for her to farm now with her 1. Unless it's a bug, but now the Jingwei knockup does damage, full damage, even if somebody walks through it. It used to be it was only on that initial burst. So now you just drop your 1 on the melees, and if it's pushing towards you, you'll just clear the archers as it's walking through them. I still think Jingwei is really good. Nerf to the ultimate damage, nerf to the 2's cooldown is something. It's not nothing. But I also think they're going to nerf crit to make her feel a little less dominant. All right, Ymir. Yeah, I figured. Ymir's auto attacks are probably doing a little too much damage. Just a little bit too much. I think this is a good nerf. This is a really good nerf. Bacchus, kill him. Kill him. From 0 to 80% protections is going to be 0 to 60 magical protections. This is good. I still think it should probably be a little bit lower, maybe 40%. Showing Alma right now.
I've seen before and what they haven't, but yeah. I know for a fact the Lich Head, the Medusa Wall, these walls in the lane.
Oh, they're showing just the new map. I do like the new map though.
Fire. Yeah, those are new.
Wait, that looks cool. I like this. This looks good.
Yeah,
this looks really good.
We're in dev, so we might have.
This looks really good.
Not exactly going.
That looks really good. I like that. Yeah, I think this should probably be 0 up to 40%, but it's still a good nerf. Belly flop also getting a nerf. Is going down to 40%. So they're cutting 40% physical. So 80% of Bacchus's protections that was added into his damage is no longer going to be there. I still do think Bacchus is too strong. He does way too much damage still for how tanky he is. I assume, at least. I don't think this is going to be killing his damage. But this is a good start. Good start. Doomsayer, damage done to Titans and jungle bosses has been reduced by 80%. Okay. Susanoo nerf. Stormkata, the spin damage is down 10%. And the wind siphon is also down 10%. So Susanoo's losing 20% strength and damage. Not massive early game at all, not massive mid game, but when it comes to late game, he's probably losing like, I mean, you could pretty easily get to 300, 400 strength on a full damage Susanoo build. So you end up losing 30, 40 damage, which is per ability, 30, 40 per ability. So that can add up. Cernanos buff, now direct. Okay. So this is something that only used to root and now cripples also. Hades buff, fear always directs targets away from Hades. Okay, I didn't even buff. Sure, probably could have seen something else here, but Bologna buff. So her hammer did full damage to the middle minion that you would hit, but the cleave would only do, I think it was 60% or 66%. It's now just 100% for all of them. So Bologna's gonna go back to being a stronger early game character. She actually fell off just a tiny bit because she doesn't use Bluestone well. And then she couldn't clear that well. So she was just getting out cleared almost, and now she can actually clear. Soul buff. Soul. She's finally getting that slow immunity. This felt so bad. Zeus buff. Lightning Storm. Maybe it'll take me less than 6 games to win with Zeus now. The only reason I'm not saying anything about Soul being buffed or nerfed is because I'm assuming they're nerfing crit. If Jingwei's getting off that light, and Soul's getting off this light, they're nerfing crit. 20% strength scaling to the explosion damage. Neath buff? I don't think Neath needed a buff. I think she was pretty balanced. In fact, this is nice. This is really nice. The movement speed slow that you got when you threw out the reach felt bad. This is a good buff. And Impale gets a little bit more base damage. Really good early game. Really good early game. Pretty negligible late game. All right, so the new items and some reworked items. Sunbeam Bow gets, for 2650 gold, you get 25 strength, 250 mana, 2 mana regen, 15% attack speed, and toggle to fire 2 ranged projectiles with each of your basic attacks. These travel 8.8 meters and deal 20 plus 20% of your basic attack damage as magical damage. Item drains 5% mana, max mana per second while active. Oh my. They're going to have to balance this max mana. I'm not going to comment too much on the mana stuff because it's hard to tell exactly now. But this is going to perform a little bit like Odibo. And I think this, if the mana is balanced and like it's not too, like I would rather have it be too strong than too weak. 5% max mana per second is something you're just going to turn on for a team fight. And then as soon as that team fight's over, you're turning off. Because this is something that you're going to like be on top of. I think this is actually going to be pretty balanced to start. 5% max mana does seem like a lot. But if you turn it on, throw out 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 auto attacks, and then instantly turn it off. Like if you're thinking about it, you shouldn't be wasting much mana. So it's a cool item. I think the strength is maybe a little low though. Or the attack speed. I think either of those two probably need a little bit of love. I have the Storm 50. Wait, this item is losing its strength. Toggle to vortex enemies around you towards you. 5% of your max health per second while active. Wait. That is sick. That is sick. That is awesome. That is awesome. Lifebinder. 2400 gold for 30 intelligence, 300 health, 15 cooldown rate. Send out a wave of living energy, dealing 130 plus 5 per level magical damage and marking enemy gods for 6 seconds. Allies who damage a marked target will consume the mark, shielding and healing them for 130 plus 5 per level. Wait. This is a... Wait. Guys. Enchanters. High-res once enchanters. This is sick. I think Hyros has always had this issue of balancing enchanters or like not having them really as units in the game. But this is an enchanter ability. A little bit of damage. In a 2v2, your teammate's going to get it no matter what. In a 1v1, you could take it. But in a 2v2, you want your teammate to take it. That is awesome. This is another W. Avenging Blade, 2300 gold, 50 strength, 100 health. Damaging an enemy god with a basic attack while in the jungle slows their movement speed by 3% and reduces their protections by 4% for 3 stacks up to 5 times. Wait, that is crazy. It's cheap. The stats aren't great though, but the passive does seem really good. Yeah, I was dreading this because I knew this was coming. Purification Beads is getting a buff. Aegis is getting a buff for the movement speed buff duration, which is nice. Phantom Shell buff is getting 5 more health per level, so you get an extra 100 health. Sunring Arc is getting a nerf. It is no longer 400 plus 25 per level. It is 175 plus 25 per level. They're also shifting the damage of the PvP Sunder. Instead of 22 plus 2 per level, damaging 5 times over 4 seconds, is now going to be 27 plus 3 per level. True damage 3 times over 2 seconds. So early game, it is it's an upfront buff because it's more damage quicker, but the end of it is a nerf. But I mean, this is doing 240 damage late game. Granted, it used to do... Wait. Is this just an outright buff late game? This is just a buff late game, right? Because 60, this is 87 times 3. It's what, 261? Yeah, this is just a huge PvP buff. This is an absolutely huge PvP buff. But a pretty big nerf to the Sunder. So that's cool. That's cool. I like that. It is a nerf, but it's like a shift nerf, which I think that's perfect. Consumables, Health Chalice, I hate potions. Potions are so OP, man. Okay, wards are back. We're back to warding, guys. We're back to warding. So yep, Health Potion and Health Chalice do not tick together. One ticks first and then one ticks after. So that's a good change. Yep, here it is. Critical strike damage is down. So, yep. As I figured, they're not going to just not nerf Jing and Soul that much if they're doing something else. I think this is perfect. Not touching Jing too much and then not nerfing Soul too much. Because I think Jing is the better character than Soul. I think nerfing her a good amount with this nerf makes sense, but not too much. Dev's Gloves. Good nerf. Don't even care what it is. Good nerf. 10 strength off the front end of it. Also losing 5 at the end. So losing 15 strength. Also losing 2.5% lifesteal. It's still cheap. I'd have to compare it to the other lifesteal items, but I think it's still probably fine. Transcendence is losing 10 strength at the top end. And I don't know how much strength... I don't know what the Transcendence passive is, but if somebody knows what it is, hey, comment it down below and I'll pin it. If somebody figures that out. Same with Book. If you do Book and Trans, I'll pin your comment. But the base intelligence and base strength from both Trans and Book are nerfed. The mana per stack is also down. And then Book on top of that is also eating another nerf of decreasing the percent mana to int on the evolved form. These stacking item nerfs are really good because this is a nice nerf to Thebes where it doesn't kill it and it kind of shifts its like idea of what Thebes is. Thebes used to be this like early game, I'm gonna get a lot stronger. Now it's like the cheap option of like getting good stats all around. You're losing 50 health, you're getting a little bit more mana, but you're losing a good amount of stacks and it's also a little bit more expensive. So good nerfs. Wow, a lot of nerfs to DPS and pen items. Titans losing 5 pen, 250 gold. Obshard is now 300 gold cheaper, also losing 5% pen. This isn't really a nerf, it's a shift. These are shifts. Because these are a lot cheaper now. And you're losing pen, obviously, but 5% pen for 250 gold is a decent trade-off. It just makes it so tanks are a little bit tankier, but you can get that pen. Like, if you're ahead, you will not feel any weaker against tanks. If you are behind, you will feel worse against tanks, as like that's their job. If they're ahead tanks, they should be hard to kill. So this is a nice change. I think this is a good idea, because tanks definitely did not feel too great. Hydra's nerf is really good. Hydra's is broken. Hydra's is probably the best assassin item in the game. Like, you had to buy Hydra's every game. Deso also getting a little nerf. Crusher losing 5% strength on the passive. Heartseeker losing 1% strength on the damage scaling percentage HP. Demon Blade losing 5% attack speed. Meh. This one's a little bit more important. Musashi's dual swords is losing 5% movement speed. Amanita Charm is getting a big nerf, losing 7.5% current health heal over that 5-second duration, 1.5% every tick, which is a massive, massive nerf. Cutting it by what? 30%? Crazy. Crazy nerf. War Banner, yep, had a visual bug. Bluestone is actually getting a small nerf, and Bluestone Brooch is getting a pretty big nerf. It used to be 160 plus 10% is now 120 plus 7.5%. I almost wish that they got rid of Bluestone and made a new solo lane item. I hate Bluestone. Bloodbound Book is getting a shift, getting 350 more health, but is also gaining 5% lifesteal, which is a bad trade-off for Book, IMO. Pharaoh's Curse is getting 10 physical protections. That's very nice. Leviathan's Hide is getting an extra 5% strength lost per stack. Wow. Spectral is getting 25 protections. Sheesh. Nemean is getting 15 more protections and also getting an extra 2.5% reflect damage on the passive. Stampede is getting 10 more protections. Talisman of Purification is getting 15 more protections. Phoenix Feather is getting 25 more health and 15 more protections. Oni's is getting 15 more protections. Scepter of Dominion's active is cut in half from 240 plus 120. This is the stasis item. A lot of fun. No potential with 240 seconds. With 120, potentially. Jade Scepter, another item that I think is really good. I just think its stats were a little lacking. But like a solo lane Hades with this knock-up CC on top of his rest of his kit could be really good. Wish Granting Pearl, little boring item, gets 10 intelligence. Golden Blade is now 100 gold cheaper. And Mystical Mail is now weaker early game, but stronger late game. Used to do 32 damage at level 1, and now it does 21.5. Late game, though, it will be doing 50, which is pretty big shift. They fixed the Neath backflip bug where she used to be targetable. I assume that's the same with, like, on her, too. Maybe not. The Hexstone has been... The Hexstone is getting nerfed, guys. You can no longer use it while firing channeled abilities, unfortunately. Health Chalice is fixed. Spirit Robe is also fixed. The Reaver's getting a bug fix. Providence Golden Blade. Scepter of Dominion. Yada, yada, yada. Ooh! Wait. This is a level 15 bug? Bro, I swear this happened so often. That's such a funny bug. That is such a funny bug. No consistency with it. Like, it was impossible to tell why. It was just like, it's just happening. Yeah. That's looking like just about it. Hey. That's a good fucking patch, baby. That is a good fucking patch. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Let me know down below, what do you guys think about the patch? Overall, I really do like it, but I'm curious what you guys think. Ama and Nu Wa, do you guys like how Hyra's kind of changed them up a little bit? Also, let me know about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys again next time. Peace.